As Alan is discovering, to the inexperienced user, playing with circuits is not very fun. It can be frustrating, complicated, lonely, and sometimes painful.
Wouldn't it be nice if there were a toy that could make circuits fun? A toy that taught you the basics of circuitry while being as lovable and cuddly as a teddy bear.
Electro plushies are plush versions of circuit components that not only look cute, but actually function, just like their infuriatingly small and expressionless counterparts.
Resistors, switches, LEDs. A lot of people have heard of these, but they don't really know how they work. Electro plushies each have their own personality that corresponds to what they do. Now, take for instance this button. It looks exactly like a button you'd find on a normal circuit board, with a gray body and a red hat. It looks exactly the same, but an electro plushie button has a personality. This button is confused because it doesn't know whether it's on or off. The buzzer is angry and yells. The resistor is cool and resistant to flow. The LED is bright and happy, and the battery is energetic.
But it's not just the personalities that teach about the components. Each electro plushie comes with a tag, complete with an alligator clip, that explains what the function is in a creative way, describing the concept in a way that is easy to understand. This makes electro plushies simple to understand and appeal to all ages. Younger children like the plush, older children like to learn about the circuits, while adults appreciate the novelty of the combination of the two.
As you can see, Alan has made very little progress into his foray into the world of electronics, whereas Adrian and Elizabeth here are having a great time making circuits. This is because electro plushies work. Each electro plushie has two leads, just like a regular component. And like a regular electric component, the leads are posable. Attached to the ends of each lead are magnetic snaps. There are two types of magnetic snaps, positive and negative. This ensures, so since the magnetic snaps are polarized, it's impossible to connect the positive lead to the positive lead or the negative lead to the negative lead, ensuring that your circuits are safe. Why would circuits be unsafe? Because soldered to each magnet and running up through the body of the plushie are two wires. And inside the body of the plushie is the actual component that is represented by the plushie. So essentially, you have a stuffed animal that does the exact same thing as the actual component. Now, we were a little concerned about safety because we do have magnets. So what we've done is we've stitched the magnets on, we've clamped the magnets on, and we've epoxied the magnets on. So kudos to you if you can get the magnet off. But don't choke on it.
Now, you can't build a circuit with just one component. With electro plushies, the squeezable circuit, you can collect them all. But what if you have a button and all your friends have resistors, buzzers, LEDs? While building normal circuits tends to be a solitary activity, electro plushies are great for playing with friends. Get together, share your plushies, and build bigger and better circuits.
Alan, are you having any fun at all?
Would you like to play with an electro plushie instead?
All right, here you go, buddy. Looks like Adrian and Elizabeth need some help.
Complex components such as a MOSFET or audio?
Absolutely. So certain components are going to be kind of hard to convey through the plush. Like even the LED isn't doing exactly what an LED would do. But we feel creative, and we think that we could build as many circuit elements as exist.
We actually planned to, but when we realized we only had a few weeks to do it, we decided we were only going to do a few components.
Any other questions? Yes, in the back.
If you connect the LED directly to the battery without putting a resistor in the way, can you run the LED out? We tested that, and it takes 2 hours to do it, so we're good. We're good for a while.
It's exactly how it would be without the electro plushies. So in general, if you hook an LED directly up to the battery, it will do okay. It's not happy, but it'll do okay for a while. Yes. Can you connect them in parallel? You cannot connect them in parallel as they stand now, but we have plans for two ways to make them parallel compliant. We have plans for a solder blob electro plushie, which would essentially just be like a hub with a bunch of magnetic snaps on it that you could connect multiple electro plushies to, and also a playmat that looks like a circuit board but functions as a breadboard, so you can build larger circuits on the ground with your playmat.
Question in the back, yes.
Yeah, so we only implemented it on one prototype, but the final products will have zippers. The battery has a zipper because we didn't know how long it was going to last. But you'll be able to access the inside of the plushies to replace the components or change the values. So for example, the resistor, let's say you don't want just a 220 ohm resistor, you need like kilo ohms. You can open up, I know, it's important. You can open up the electro plushie resistor, replace it, and then the bands will actually be removable, so you can put the correct colored bands on the outside of the plushie.
One final question? Yes.
How do you consider safety in this? Such as if you replace the resistor, what's to stop the 2-year-old from blowing it out, or have you considered that short circuit the battery?
So the battery has very short stubby leads in the hopes that no one will somehow short it.
You can't do it. It's
Yeah, so if you put a wire across it, it's going to be dangerous. The thinking behind this is if you are a parent letting your child play with 9-volt batteries, then you should probably let them play with an electro plushie with a 9-volt battery in it. But if you like to keep batteries away from your children, you should probably remove the 9-volt battery from the electro plushie before you give it to them. And if they do somehow catch it on fire, then they learned a very valuable lesson in circuitry.
Electro plushie.